Joining us for a conversation is Mike Ciricillo, the CEO of Nevada Copper. Mr. Ciricillo, welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, Maurice. Pleasure to be here. Thanks.
What an honor to have you join us today to get us up to date on the latest exciting developments on Nevada Copper, located in the world's top-rated mining jurisdiction, hosting the flagship Pumpkin Hollow project. Before we begin, Mr. Ciricillo, please introduce us to Nevada Copper and the opportunity the company presents to shareholders.
Absolutely. Thanks. I've been around the world for a number of years, and I'm very, very proud to say that the US of A finally has a new copper mine up and running. That's Nevada Copper. It's probably the first copper mine in at least 10 years to be up and running. And we're on the way to making what I'm hoping in the next couple of years over 100,000 tons a year of copper in a great jurisdiction and in a market that's required, especially with the electric vehicle story. So very, very pleased about this project. It's turning into a production site.
Sir, you have a proven pedigree of success, and you're still in your first year and tenure with the Nevada Copper. For those of us that are not familiar with Mike Ciricillo, please tell us about yourself.
Okay, you bet. Thanks. As I just mentioned, I've been in the mining industry for the last 30 years. I've worked my way from Inco, Canada. In 1991 is when I started. I've worked in Holland. I've worked in Chile, in Peru, Congo, and in one of my last recent roles, I was in charge of all of Glencore's copper assets around the world, based in Switzerland, and had the pleasure of working with over 50,000 folks. So I've had the blessing and the opportunity of meeting a lot of good people and seeing a lot of good technologies and best practices, and putting it all together. Coming back home here in the US of A, I feel that with all this knowledge base and experience, ready to kick off and ramp up the Pumpkin Hollow site and then expand it further to a major producer in the United States.
That's some of the tangibles, but the intangibles, I've had an opportunity to speak with some of your team members. They say that you're boots to the ground, and they really, really respect that. And I think that's something that just doesn't show up on the balance sheet. And I wanted to convey that to all of our audience members. This is the leader that we have in Nevada Copper here.
Well, thanks for saying that. Yes, in fact, I'm based at site in Yerington, Nevada, and I wear jeans every day, got the work boots on, and head down the mine and or just walking around the mill. It's important for the folks, good, hard-working, smart folks, and just to be there for them, right? They're there for me, I'm there for them, and we're one big team.
Absolutely. After ending last year on a positive note, delays set Nevada Copper back on your production schedule. Have these issues been resolved?
Yes, they have. So let me just say that early in the year, well, let me even back up. Anybody in mining knows that ramp ups are kind of a challenge, and like any other ramp up, this is a challenge as well. But we're up to the task. So we had some minor incidents early in the year. We also had to get our electrical system up and running. Ventilation is important. We just started up and commissioned our last two fans underground. These are the larger fans. So we've got power underground, we've got the ventilation underground. So we're up and running now, and we're able to increase our development and get that running. The mill is running well. We continue to tweak it. Our recoveries are at 90%, and we expect that to increase as the grades increase as well. And the rest of the site is running well. So now just a question of developing the mine more, and that's going to happen now that we've got the ventilation system.
You're currently producing copper concentrate. Is the processing mill performing? How is it performing, I should say, and any delays there?
No, there's none whatsoever. So our mill is running well. Our concentrate grades are on spec, and it's also a very clean con. So for the smelting folks, which I've done in the past as well too, seeing this as a con coming to a smelter that I would work at, let's say, I'll be very, very pleased. So the mill's running well, the recovery's running well, our filter presses are running well, so our dry stack tailings, which help reduce water, required at the site, very important in the very arid, dry city that we live in, is helping out quite a bit there. So the mill is running well.
You reference recoveries at what percentage is that at?
So we're currently at 90, and we anticipate to get to the 92-ish% when we're at the higher grades. But our throughputs are good too. We've even pushed the mill at the 5,000 tons per day, and the mill's running well. So I'm very, very pleased about that.
All right. What can shareholders expect as far as news flow in the coming months?
So in the coming months, a couple of things. One is, development increasing underground. Uh, as well, I've mentioned ventilation. That's the ventilation underground. We're also putting some permanent fans on the surface, and those have been purchased. They're being built, and they're coming over. So that'll be installed in the late third, quarter. And so you got ventilation, development, and just continuing to make a bunch more safe copper.
Sir, please remind us of some of the recent milestones accomplished by Nevada Copper.
Okay. The most important one is the actual shaft itself. That was, commissioned right around Christmas Day. So we all had a nice Christmas present there. It was safely done. And that's the heart. It's the heart. It's the artery. It's the main item of an underground mine. That's running well. It's fully automated, fully commissioned. And so that's a huge step behind us. Some of the other items that we've done as well there too recently is we've got our 6 ventilation fans underground. Those have all been installed, and the last 2 are just being commissioned as we speak. We also dropped our first stope just this week as well too, so that's a huge milestone for us. Mm-hmm. So we're not only just developing, we're also starting to stope as well too.
Sounds great. Let's look at some numbers here. The stock has moved all the way from 6 cents in a 52-week period to 32 cents. Congratulations on that, by the way. What would you like to say to shareholders? And also, is there any update for a potential stock rollback?
With regards to this nice jump in price, it's good to see that the share price of Nevada Copper is following the share price of other copper producers. In the past, it may not have been the case simply because we weren't producing. But now that we're ramping up, it's obvious that the shareholders feel that we are now a producer. And also with the electric vehicle story, even if you believe half of that story, there's not enough copper. And being at Pumpkin Hollow with the opportunity to produce almost 100,000 tons a year with the open pit, once that's up and running, it's a huge opportunity for us. And it's nice to see that the shareholders see that as well.
And any update on a potential rollback?
That's currently being looked at. And like things, those type of items are always being looked at. So that's under review, and we're discussing that with the board.
Copy that. And by the way, just for anyone that's not familiar with the value proposition before us in copper, as you just alluded to, we're going to consume more copper in the next 25 years than all of recorded history. The world needs copper, and it needs it from a friendly mining jurisdiction with proven management, and we have it right here in Nevada Copper. Now, before we close, sir, multi-layered question. What is the next unanswered question for Nevada Copper? When can we expect a response, and what will determine success?
So the next unanswered question is specifically is when is the open pit going to start producing copper, right? So we've just started the underground, we're ramping it up. And if I'm a shareholder, I'm saying great, especially with copper at this price, when are you going to start the open pit? So plan is to first consolidate the underground, get that behind us, start to really look at some studies for the open pit and do additional drilling, especially with this price of copper. The pit designs will change. It'll be a bigger pit. So we're looking towards the middle of next year before we have some of those answers.
Sir, what keeps you up at night that we don't know about?
That would have to do with how do I safely make a lot more copper? You got this jurisdiction of Pumpkin Hollow in this wonderful district in a terrific state. So the opportunities are there. So now it's all upon myself and the team to make a lot more of this safe, sustainable copper, and that's a good problem to have, and I don't mind staying up at night for that.
May I ask you this as well? I forgot to ask you this. How is Nevada Copper leveraged to the price of copper?
It's 100% leverage to the price of copper. We do have some byproducts of gold and silver, but 98% leverage. So you can say it's a straight 1-to-1 beta, and that's who we are, and we're very, very proud to have that connection with copper.
Fantastic. Last question, sir. What did I forget to ask?
What did you forget to ask? I think, Maurice, you have hit them all.
Okay, we'll take that. Sir, for someone listening that wants to get more information on Nevada Copper, please share the contact details.
Yeah, so I would recommend that you go to our website, www.nevadacopper.com, and where it says contact, there's either a phone number or an email address. We'd love to hear from you, and we're really, really proud and happy to tell our story.
Mr. Ciricillo, always a pleasure to speak with you, sir. Wishing you and Nevada Copper the absolute best, sir.
Thank you very much, Maurice. It was a pleasure.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.